I'd just like to first start taking this moment to take a moment of silence, because when I was coming here in UK, I received a message that one of the boys that I know, a 10-year-old Tabo, passed on. He had HIV/AIDS. Please help me to take this moment of silence. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Please join me on my journey of my life from disgrace to dignity. I'm born and raised in a community of Soweto in Meadowlands, and that is 43 years ago. Meadowlands is one of those townships in Soweto in South Africa where most people during the apartheid time who used to live in Soweto town were forcibly removed from Soweto town. People living in mixed cultures and race groups were moved to Soweto in Meadowlands, where they actually stayed and were segregated. Meadowlands is one township that is popular in South Africa. That's where most of the things also happen. When I was 4, I lost my mom, and that was the last time I saw my mom. Until I turned 6, then my dad died. Things became so difficult at home, like any other African child out there. What is a home without a mother? So said someone. Then when I look through the window, outside the window, I realized that there were a lot of young people who were staying in the streets, who had happiness and freedom to do everything they wanted to do. All I was looking for was happiness, like any other child out there. I decided to join all other children in the streets. I did everything that they did in the streets. Begging for food, eating everywhere, sleeping everywhere in the streets. I was very hungry. I needed food to eat, of which food, it's a right, it's not an opportunity. I saw this smart man wearing a beautiful suit with a two-tone shining shoes. What I saw from this man was a solution. I approached this man to ask for food. They say expect the unexpected. Just when I was about to talk to him, I got kicked on my face and blood was spreading all over my face. By then, I was only 6 years old. That's when I got a turning point in my life to say, I'll never ever ask again, and I'll never ever beg again. I'll just have to find my way of surviving. In 1976, in Meadowlands, so many things happened. Remember, we were living under apartheid, which is evil. That was the time when students stood up and fought against Afrikaans language that was forced on us in every black school. And the students said enough is enough. The uprising started. The riots started. Students were fighting. Police were shooting at the students, black students. I was just a little boy, seeing all those bodies lying around there, tear gas, smoke all over Soweto. It was terrible. As I carried on living my life in the street, a saint came, a very powerful woman, Mama Eva Mokoka. She's been always looking for me until she met me and she found me. I'll never forget that day, one of the great days in my life, when this beautiful woman approached me and said, Bob, I've always been looking for you. Come with me. Let's go and stay in Kliptown, in my house. I became grateful to be given a second chance in my life. I went with Mama Eva to stay in Kliptown. Totally a different atmosphere compared to where I'm coming from. Different community. Kliptown had this mixed cultures of people. There were white people, colored people, Indian people, black people speaking all these different languages, multicultural community. As a young man, I was grateful to be given that chance. I started connecting and falling in love with Kliptown. Mama Eva was a very powerful figure in the community of Kliptown. She was more like our Mother Teresa. She was a midwife. She ran a small clinic in the same house where we lived, and inspiration was just close to me. The way Mama Eva has raised me, I still appreciate even today. Number one, she took me to school, which I believed education is not an opportunity or a privilege, it's a right. She introduced me also in the house of the Lord, where I learned values, norms, and principles of life. Kliptown, it's a very rich community in terms of the history of the country, South Africa. That's exactly where the Freedom Charter of the country, South Africa, was adopted. This Freedom Charter gave birth to our recent constitution. As you all know, that South Africa has got one of the best constitutions in the world. But looking at the conditions in Kliptown and the life that people are living in Kliptown, quite sad. Even today, Kliptown doesn't have proper infrastructure. Kliptown doesn't have electricity. There's hardly a school in Kliptown. The sanitation is bad. A population of about 50,000 people squashed, congested in a small piece of land. That became a challenge to me. Remember where I'm coming from in this journey of mine. Pain has been the order of the day. And I learned at a very early age to fall in love with pain. Because where there's pain, so said someone, there's gain. I started taking a step, making sure that I am going to make a difference in the community of Kliptown. It was in 1985 when me and my friend called Jabu started a youth club. And we named the youth club after our names, Jabu and Bob. So it's J&B Youth Club. On the same year, a friend of mine, Jabu, just decided to quit. And I told myself, I'm not a quitter. I have to do what I have to do. The following year, 1986, I decided to rename the youth club, and it became KCYC, which stands for Kliptown Children and Youth Club. It's more of an after-school program that mainly deals with arts and culture, including sports. We had poetry, dance, music, visual arts, and fine arts as well. And in sport, we had football and netball because black people in South Africa were not allowed to play rugby, were not allowed to play cricket. It has always been a white sport. I moved on with KCYC. I started seeing changes in young people. It all started with 12 young girls, and then it went on growing and growing. The following year, in 1987, by God's grace, I founded SKY, Soweto Kliptown Youth Foundation, as an NPO, non-profit organization. SKY was there to oversee that conditions in Kliptown become better. There were a lot of challenges, of course, in a community like that. High risk of HIV/AIDS, which is still there even today. High rate of unemployment, early teenage pregnancy, drug abuse, school dropouts, crime, and you name them. I never wanted to blame anybody, but I blamed myself, because blaming somebody is more like shifting the responsibility away from you and giving it to somebody else. I started coming with awarenesses, workshops, where we used to talk about HIV/AIDS education, child abuse, women abuse. Kliptown was filthy. People couldn't even take care of their community. They would throw garbage everywhere. I started mobilizing cleanup campaigns, especially for the children, because it's always important to teach them whilst they are young. So they said, it's quite difficult to teach an old dog new tricks. I started teaching kids. It went on, and the response was positive. The government in our country never funded us We've been always independent up until now. Hence, I always argue with people who would normally say, it's money that makes life better. I really disagree. It's the other way around. It's only life that makes money. It's not money that makes life. As I was continuing with the work in Kliptown, also inviting other people from different countries, they say two heads are better than one. I started seeing a lot of changes and hope, which is important. HOPE, it's very important. And started producing wonderful young people, started seeing hope in their eyes, started seeing the light in the children's lives. And I continue with a lot of young people, and I achieved quite a lot. And Sky, KCYC achieved quite a lot. I can quote a few. Today, there are young people that I'm very proud of who started at Sky and KCYC during that time when I started all this. There is Jerome Slim, who actually graduated from Boston College. He did his radio and TV presenting, and recently he was invited by NBA to become a Master of Ceremony in the USA. That's one of the achievements. There's a young lady called Zolega Melissa Tumbi, who started at Sky at the age of 8 years. Today she's a professional dancer. She has traveled most places through a musical theater production called Umoja. I'm sure most of you are familiar with it. There's Butana Peter Mulefe, who just graduated last year through Wits University. Now he's got his master's in drama. There's Tebogo Mulefe also, who is a professional assessor, graduated through Gordon Institute. That is just to name a few. So this goes out to say, anything that doesn't kill you makes you strong. And this encouraged me to continue working and working. I read also a lot of books. I read a lot about Steve Biko, who encouraged me quite a lot from Black Consciousness movement. One of the sayings from Steve Biko is, I write what I like. So that suited me so much because I've always been an independent young African man. I read about people like Mahatma Gandhi, who said, be the change that you want to see. I read about people like Mother Teresa, who lives inside my heart. I can still not compare that woman with any other woman, who said, if you want to do something and the world says you can't, do it anyway. Bob Marley has always been my icon, my university of life. I've listened to almost every song of Bob Marley, and it has motivated me a lot. But I'm not Marley, I'm Nameng. Bob Marley, in one of the songs that inspired me, says, if you get up and you quarrel every day, you sing praises to the devil, I say, why can't we help one another on the way and make it much easier? Because it's a new day, it's a new feeling, it's a new sign. Oh, what a new day. Today, I got an inspiration, great inspiration from Derek. He reminded me also Bob Marley's song, when Bob Marley said, one good thing about music, when it hits you, you feel no pain. So Derek has hit me with music, and I would like to appreciate that. It's something that will never be wiped off my mind. And I also appreciate all the students who came from all countries to come down to Kliptown and tutor the children, especially the Warwick students who came and did massive work. And I've also realized that children in our community relate even much better and easier with students from outside our country. So therefore, I would like to say, whom Jah bless, no man cares. Thank you very much for this opportunity.